All right, guys, welcome back to the Inside the Show podcast. My name is Ryan Shell. Guys, it's been a minute. It's been like 2 whole months since I've uploaded a pod. You might look around and go, "What's going on?" It's usually just me at home, sitting in my bedroom. Today I'm actually joined by two of my really good friends, Paul and Nate. We're just kind of here to recap a race we just did. So we're kind of just gonna go through the last 2 months of kind of all the craziness that's been going on. So. Guys, welcome to the show. Paul, Nate, thanks for being here. We're just going to jump right in.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. So the first segment we always do here on the pod is just called Quote of the Week. So, boys, I know I asked you before this, what'd you bring? What'd you learn this week? What's something you live by? I'd love to hear always some new perspective. So just let me hear it. Nate, I want to hear you first.
Yeah, so I just got done reading a book by Matthew McConaughey. It's called Poems and Prayers, and it was really inspirational. I really liked it. I picked 2 quotes. So the first one is, "Life is a miraculous journey of false summits until the end. Surrender to this fact and climb until then." The second one I brought with me is, "I pray as a means of staying involved in my life and the life of those I love and care for. Prayer anchors me but doesn't hold me down, giving me a more stable floor from which to fly from."
Wow. Sheesh.
So, little food for thought there.
Food for thought.
Something to chew on.
That'll feed me for like the next year.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Dude, it's always Matthew with these crazy
Yeah.
quotes, man.
And they're so abstract, and they just make you think.
Yeah.
I
Have you
love it.
seen some of his stuff with like Chris Williams or some of his podcasts he's been on?
I feel like I've seen clips of that, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen the whole thing yet.
I listened to a Joe Rogan podcast with him and Matthew McConaughey for the first time, like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months ago. And just hearing him talk, it just blew me away. I didn't realize how intelligent he was.
Yeah.
Him and Joe Rogan were just going on and on about, all these just kind of these rabbit hole theories with space and time. But once they started talking a little bit more about philosophy, and they even got into religion a little bit. And I was just sitting there. I remember I was sitting in traffic on my way down to Miami of Ohio. I was around Columbus. I was sitting in traffic for like 45 minutes, and I just rolled the window down, put my feet out the window, and was listening to this podcast for a long time. And I was just blown away.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, Matthew's awesome. I've been following him for a good amount of time now, and it's just nice to hear his words every once in a while. So
Were you driving? You putting your feet out the window?
Yeah. Well, it was standstill
hold on.
traffic. Standstill traffic.
Oh, standstill.
I was
Yeah,
saying,
no.
I thought you were talking about being in the passenger seat. I was like,
No, I drive everywhere.
Just 1 foot out the window.
That's what the cruise control's for, man.
Okay.
alrighty.
Is that the one you got? Is that the one you got?
What's that?
Is that the one you got? That one quote?
Yeah. Yep.
Banger. Paul?
My quote's maybe not so serious. I've been really wrapped up in the Lord of the Rings for the past month.
Hey, bro. Peak.
No, I love them. I read the books when I was real young. I read The Hobbit when I was real young. And then within the past couple of weeks, I rewatched the Hobbit movies. We're about halfway through Return of the King right now. So
Let's go.
yeah,
dude.
it's great. I'm loving it.
Great movie series.
Still gotta watch it.
You haven't seen it?
I've seen the first one.
Have you read the books?
No.
I haven't. I need to read the books.
I was like you, but like Harry Potter. Growing up, I read all.
Oh, I love Harry Potter.
Yeah, right.
read
But
the
I
books too.
never got into Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the important thing to remember. If you're going to watch the Hobbit movies and watch the Lord of the Ring movies, the Hobbit, I believe it's Peter Jackson who directs it, but Peter Jackson adds quite a bit of storyline that's just not in the books at all. And he does it just to make the movies kind of flow a little bit better, give it, more of a plot line. It's not like The Hobbit's missing any plot, but it just makes the movie more entertaining,
Right.
So when you go to watch The Hobbit, just keep in mind the books are going to be a little bit slower, but the packed parts are still great. So The Hobbit, more so. And then once you get to the Lord of the Rings, they leave some things out and they kind of skip over some things, which is why I like reading books more, because I mean, they went into so much more detail about just their actual journey.
Yeah.
Rather than just all the battles that they were in and everything
Gotcha.
that happened.
Gotcha.
The book's just like the movie is like a bird's eye view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, it's 1,000 pages of literature and they crammed it into 9 hours of film. So,
Fair.
but anyways, my quote was from Gandalf. It's, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. And Gandalf says that to Frodo in the Fellowship of the Ring. And it's Frodo, they're sitting in the Mines of Moria, they're trapped, and they don't really know what to do. And Frodo is just so bummed out because he has this ring, and he has to go to Mordor to destroy the ring, and he just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He's like, why me? Why is this happening to me? And what Gandalf says is really wonderful. I mean, all that we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. There's no real workaround to what's right in front of us. We just have to go right through it and just make the best of it. Well, I think that's great.
Yeah.
From Gandalf.
Yeah. Time isn't always kind to us, unfortunately.
No.
Things just kind of, it's like the classic saying of like, shit happens, right? Kind of just got to roll with it. I mean, obviously, like, that's not what Gandalf is saying, but like,
Pretty much it is.
pretty much, but he's not saying it like that. So yeah, that's really good, Paul. I had 2 this week, actually. I'm gonna actually pull mine up here. So I actually had one from a song that I really liked. It's just a lyric from a song from an artist Paul actually showed me. Larry Fleet. I was not familiar.
Really?
Yeah. You put me on real good for a good couple weeks here.
What genre?
Country.
Country.
Larry Fleet.
It's
Yeah.
like
recommend
more
I'm gonna
blues,
have to
I think.
listen.
More blues, country blues.
Oh,
Country
dude,
blues,
that's
yeah.
my style right there.
Yeah.
Get me in on that.
So anybody who's listening to this, Larry Fleet, Paul put me on. I'm gonna put the rest of people on. Who are listening to this.
Cody Jinks.
Cody Jinks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been going crazy on Cody the past couple.
There's a concert at Blossom. It's Cody Jinks and Five Finger Death Punch
What?
and one other artist, but I don't remember who it is.
Crazy
Combo.
combo.
August
I just
11th.
went to John Party and Kid Rock. I thought that was a crazy combo.
That's even worse. Well, not worse, but like,
No, it's just
that's even
way
crazier.
more,
Yeah.
contrasted
Yeah.
for sure.
So anyway, the quote goes, I just love this quote because it's so true. But a lot of people don't realize it. And I mean, in our Bible study, so for people listening, Paul and Nate, we're all in a Bible study together every Thursday night. It's great. We have a lot of fun. We get to learn a lot. But this quote kind of resonated with me because we always talk about kind of just trying to live the best, like closest to the Bible we can. You know, it's not always going to happen. It's not always possible to do that because we all know we're going to make mistakes. But the quote goes like this: "You can't find peace like this in a bottle or a pill." Super simple, just kind of right to the point, and it makes me feel at home a little bit because it's like, you know, I feel like the world is so kind of sucks right now. You know, I just feel like, to put it blatantly, I feel like a lot of people, I feel kind of different sometimes. Like even my coworkers I talk to, you know, they drink on the weekends, they, you know, do other things like that, or, you know, not even my coworkers, like more specifically just people that I don't know. I went down to Kent 2 weeks ago
Mhm.
with Noah.
When were you there?
2 weeks.
The 14th?
I don't remember.
When were you in Kent, Nate? Because I was there and I saw your truck on the,
Oh,
like
really?
the 14th, 13th.
Yeah,
or
it was
14th.
somewhere around there. Yeah.
That would have been fun if we were all there at the same
Yeah,
time.
that
Could have been. But I went down there and I was just trying to like hang out with a friend. You know, I was seeing him again. And it's just really not my thing. And I respect people who like to go out and have fun. Like, I respect it. It's nothing wrong with it. But you truly can't find peace in a bottle or a pill,
Especially if you rely on it.
especially if you rely on it.
It's one thing to have fun every once in a while, every now and again, but you know, you can't do that all the time.
Yeah,
When,
for sure.
When I was still in college, I mean, just that one semester I did in college, me and my roommate, I mean, I decided about 3 weeks into the semester that I was not going to come back. Talked to my parents. They're like, well, just finish out the semester, you know, see if you can get any credits at all. But don't come home. I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, my roommate's my best friend. I have a girlfriend here. I mean, I might as well just make the best of it the rest of the semester.
Right.
And I'll tell you, yeah, me and my roommate, I mean, we were drinking 4 or 5 times a week, like heavy. And, it was like that for a while. And then it was once I got home, once I moved back home from college and it just stopped, and I didn't have any of that going on. I had no social life, just the hole that I felt like I was in, and I felt like I was missing out on so much. But then after, maybe 6 months after I dropped out and I kind of had a real job that I liked, and I had made friends. That's about the time that I think I started talking to you a little bit more, was when I dropped out and I was working out at Onyx.
Yeah.
Um, that's when it started to kind of turn around for me, and it just kind of made more sense without having to drink so much.
Yeah. And there's
So
definitely nothing wrong with like drinking. I'm not trying to like put that on anybody like, oh, like if you drink, you're a bad person. Like that just doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. Everybody drinks pretty much. But I think it's like the excessive amount, like kind of what you're talking about, 5 days a week, pretty heavy. So trying not to rely on those types of things. Um, and then I have another quote from Arthur Brooks. If you guys know who he is, he's an author, public speaker, great guy.
Definitely heard the name.
Yeah, he was on a podcast not too long ago, and I heard this quote. And it kind of goes along with this quote. It's kind of why I added it. Um, he said, if you want your life to be really meaningful, make sure you have plenty of boredom moment to moment, and then your life won't be boring at all.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. So I kind of wrote down a couple of notes here to kind of explain it better. Because when I first heard it, I was a little confused. Like what is like it makes sense, but it doesn't to put into words. Um, Basically all I kind of wrote down was avoiding boredom equals like a shallow kind of lifestyle. You're not going in depth with yourself. And it kind of gets repetitive. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like there's like a YouTube video I saw online not too long ago. It was like the 9 to 5 trap, and it was like a bunch of mice in like this hamster ball or hamster environment or whatever, and they're like going across the street. They're basically mice, but they're living in like a 9 to 5 lifestyle, and it's just like repetitive, boring, shallow. Like that's kind of how it feels.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought of when I was thinking of this. I also think of like scrolling and social media. Like think about like filling the void when you're
Yeah,
bored.
your empty time.
When your empty time, you're scrolling, and
Yeah.
we're all culprit of that.
Oh, yeah.
So that, and then also accepting boredom. So that's like the other end of the spectrum. What I think he's trying to convey to us is accepting boredom and then creating room for more purpose, right? I think he uses the analogy in the podcast I was listening to is like one of his friends like lived on a farm and is milking a cow. Like his day-to-day stuff, milking a cow and like doing other things on a farm, is kind of boring, but it still gives his life purpose because he's not filling it with like he's not filling his time with every single little thing. He can sit there, take some time to do some deep work, think about himself, think about things he might want to do in his life. So I just think of like scrolling a lot, and I'm like, what if we just like sat there and like just thought about things,
Mm-hmm.
So I think those two go really hand in hand. So
that's great. I think too much of anything is a bad thing.
yeah.
I mean, too much of anything is a bad thing. I think that too much time with a person can be a bad thing. Because I mean, if you only see a person that you really love and you only see him once a week, you're going to be looking forward to that the entire week.
Mm.
But if you're seeing him every single day, it's just going to become kind of routine, a little monotonous.
Mm.
So I think that time apart from loved ones is something that is really, really difficult to do sometimes, especially if you have the opportunities to see that person every single day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that time apart allows for your time together to be a little bit more special.
Mm.
Because once you get into a routine of seeing that same person every single day, you're doing the same things, you're kind of just going through the motions, and it's not really anything special. Like you're still spending time with that person physically, but mentally or emotionally, you might not be as there. You might not value the time as much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you're so right. Yeah.
And I think that's something that's really difficult, especially when you're young, because if you're young, I'm like younger than us, like high school age or whatever it is, and you don't got a lot going on, and all you can think about is just seeing this other person, that's all you're going to do, especially if you're not working.
Mm.
You're just going to get sucked into doing something every single day that maybe isn't the best for you.
Or you'll become dependent and create almost like a false idol in a way and just rely on that person.
Yeah.
So you got to find a balance in life and everything, especially relationship wise.
For sure. Yeah. Those are really good.
Yeah.
That wraps up the first segment, boys. Good stuff. Good stuff. So kind of the next segment we do is we kind of just go into a full on conversation. Like it's not too much of an interview. So I want to recap the Spartan race, boys.
Spartan race.
do
Good
it.
old Spartan race.
So I'm-
So for people listening, the reason I have been kind of absent is just there's just been a lot going on. First we started with the Spartan race. We'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second here. But so we did that, and then as soon as I was done with the Spartan race, I hopped on a plane to Florida. Was gone for a week, almost week and a half, I believe, week and a half, and then got back. I ended up going to. Did I tell you about this, guys?
I don't think so.
No. So I went down to Mohican.
yeah,
And I paced a friend of mine.
Oh yeah.
Um,
How'd he do, by the way?
he tapped out at 82 miles.
That's insane.
So he didn't finish, but he was in a lot of pain.
Oh yeah.
And he pushed through a lot.
I'm sure.
I'm hoping to get them on.
How were you doing though? Because I remember the night before you left, we were at the Bible study, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go pace this dude, and he's running 100 miles."
Yeah.
And all of us were just like, "How are you gonna do this?" we understand that you're switching off with another pacer, but how are you gonna go run 50 miles tomorrow? So how were you?
So the cool thing is I didn't run 50 miles, which was great. So we aren't allowed to start pacing until he's done with mile 50.
Ah, okay.
So mile 50, and there was 3 pacers, which was cool.
So you ran like 10 miles.
So yeah.
Okay.
But didn't you say it was like 12 or something like that?
It was something around there.
Yeah.
I don't even really remember. Not to mention, like, it was a 24-hour thing. And his name was Kevin and JJ. Those two guys ran that race. JJ finished. Kevin did not. And it was crazy because this is kind of off topic, but he got done and he's like, "Hey man, like I can't, my foot hurts way too much." And he called it, but the grit on his face, dude, he was like, "I'm coming back again next year, and we're gonna win this thing." And I'm like, "Bro, you are psycho."
It's a good
Anyway.
mentality right there.
Yeah. I would say it was such an amazing experience. So I did those 3 things, back to back to back. So that's why I've been kind of away. And then I've just been working a lot too these last 2 weeks. I've been trying to put this thing together. Now we're in this kind of really awesome studio. So yeah, that's kind of an update of why I haven't really been here. But to get on to this next segment, we're going to talk about the Spartan race recap. Okay.
Let's go.
So, boys, what made us sign up for this race? We want to go back in time for a second and talk about that.
Let me tell it from my perspective. All right.
In the coffee shop.
Yeah. So we were sitting in this coffee shop. It was after church. We'd all went to church, got food, sat down. I got up. I went to the bathroom. All right. I come back. I'm walking up because it's on a little balcony. So I'm walking up these steps, and these fools ask me, they're like, "Hey, do you want to run a 10K?" I said, "No, absolutely not." And they go, "What if it had 25 different obstacles in it?" And I was like, "You know what? That sounds fun. Yeah. I'm down."
Yeah.
I feel like you guys planned that while I was in the bathroom.
We definitely did. I was literally just sitting there drinking my coffee, and Ryan just like, "Hey, look at this." Shows me his phone and is like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Dude, let's do it."
Yeah, it was kind of. I was at that point now where I was like fresh out of a bodybuilding show, and I was like still living.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do everything. I had like this high of like, oh my gosh, I could like be myself again. But I like saw the ad for it on my phone. I looked at Nate. I'm like, "Hey Nate, you down?" And then Paul came back, and I'm like, "Paul, you down?" And he's just like, "Yeah." So. Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy experience. I didn't really have too many expectations for it. To be honest, I thought it'd be harder. To be honest,
yeah,
I thought it'd be a little bit harder than it was.
I wasn't really nervous for the running aspect. I was nervous for the obstacles,
right?
because at the time when you asked me, I had been running every day, and
you were in good shape.
Yeah, and I wasn't even like training for a race. I was just running because of my POTS and all that, trying to feel better. And then you asked me, I was like, "Dude, totally, let's freaking do it."
Yeah.
And then I kind of looked into it a little bit more and saw the different obstacles. I was like, "Oh shoot, I need to get in the gym and get my grip strength up and my back strength up, and it ended up paying off.
Yeah.
For sure.
We were the opposite, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
Like me and Paul were the complete opposite
Yeah.
of you. We were looking at the opposite. Was like, yeah, we got it. But then we saw like, we ended up running 8 miles, didn't we?
yeah.
It was not 6 miles.
10K. So I think I was talking to Brandon the other day. Brandon is our buddy in our Bible study. Awesome guy. I mean, I've never seen a guy more passionate about anything, especially a Spartan.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
This guy shows up to race day with the biggest cheese on his face, and he's just so giddy, and I just love it. It's the best seeing him so happy in that environment. But anyways, I was talking to him, and he said that they had to adjust the course that day for not only flooding, so they had to make it bigger. There's flooding, and technically the miles during your obstacle does not count. So it's like 6 miles and then whatever the obstacle distances are and stuff.
So technically we ran like,
Because like we did like
Dude,
half a mile with that sandbag.
Yeah, I was
carry.
gonna say that just went on and on and on.
Dude, to my shoulder.
that was honestly one of the tougher ones.
It was.
Yeah. Towards the end, I was getting real tired.
I really wanted to nail that spear throw.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
Did we all miss?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then burpees.
How many did you do? Because I feel like since we were racing as a team, what we were supposed to do was if each member of your team like if you miss, it's 15 burpees. But then if you're on a team and the other members on a team miss, you also have to do their burpees. So I feel like we should have done 45 total.
45 would have been crazy.
I think I did 15.
I did 15.
I did 15.
Okay.
I think that's how it should be. I mean, I
think so too.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just wrong.
It's got to be.
I was having so much fun though. I'll tell you. I didn't like I was saying. I didn't have any expectations for it. I was like, okay, the running's gonna suck probably, but because we're in like it's a trail setting. I was like, it's not gonna be that bad. I mean, we were running on sand at one point.
Dude, when we were like running past that quarry and that little lake of water to the right, it was gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Is this even a race? Like,
yeah.
What are we doing?
I think my favorite was like what was it? The catapult thing where you're like pulling like a lat pull down almost.
Oh yeah.
I loved that.
Heavy bag of sand that we could pull.
That whole like sand section was probably my favorite because that's when I feel like I got in the zone. I was right next to you, and then I think you were pretty much right behind us.
I think I was right there.
Yeah, we were all three there. Oh my gosh,
What'd you think of that muddy section?
I hated that, dude. I was the first one to fall on my butt, dude.
I think you fell twice before anyone else fell once.
I almost tripped over him the one time.
That was hilarious. That was a loud fall too, because I was ahead of you guys.
I was
ahead, and I turned around and I see Ryan on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nate's like standing over him. I'm like, what happened?
I almost like ate it right over him.
You're like, oh.
But you can't stop on a dime because you're in mud.
Hey, man.
I heard you like slap the ground because that mud makes a sound. I heard you go
slap. 220 pounds straight to the ground right there.
I mean,
there was one point that was really funny to me. There was a kid, like the sled row we were doing in the sand.
Yeah.
The sled row.
Oh yeah. Tell him about it.
Yeah. So we were running. I think we ran about a mile. At that point, we ran a mile to get to that obstacle,
mile and a half, yes.
And then we did the sandbag carry, and then straight up to that, and then they had the sled row.
Yep.
And I was watching this dude do that. You guys got done before I did because I was waiting for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
This guy couldn't pull it, like it was stuck, and he's like, "Dude, I can't do it. Like I physically can't." And then I'm like, let me try, and I just yank it, and it just gets unstuck, and he's just like, "All right, yeah, you got it." You got it. And it was really easy. I think a lot of the obstacles were super easy because we finished them pretty fast.
I think the only one we struggled on was that rock wall. Remember that?
Yeah, the one
dude
got you both
talk
over.
About teamwork. I mean, Paul, if we didn't have Paul on our team, I'm not finishing.
No, we would have been cooked.
Obstacle.
Yeah.
I mean, I was standing completely up, and there was probably still like 3-4 feet you had to jump to get up to the first rock wall on the wall. So like you have to have insane hops and insane grip strength. Luckily, Paul gets on his knees like, Nate, I got you. freaking boosts me up, and then I got right up. But I would have never been able to do it if Paul wasn't there.
Yeah, it's definitely a cartoon boost because he did the same thing to me. He just
That's
like
so funny.
pushed my butt up there because I was not. There's no shot. I was getting up there by myself.
I thought you would have been good, so I helped Nate up there, and I turned around. I was gonna go get a running start and jump up the wall, and I go to turn around, and I see you. I think you were hanging on the wall, and I just look over. I'm like, "You want a boost?" And I just shoved you up under your butt, got you up there.
And you got up just fine, right?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
the hardest part was the grip. Like because I fell like twice, I think, maybe 3 times.
your
Yeah,
hand
everything's muddy.
wet.
Yeah,
And it's not even just that you're muddy. The other obstacles are muddy from other people.
from other people, right? So like hanging on the rings, the rings weren't too bad.
Rope.
The rope was fine. I was
Dude,
fine with the
We
rope.
all did the rope, I think, right?
I picked like 3 ropes in a row that were just sauced in mud. I couldn't even get up a foot, and then I finally found one in the corner that was dry enough to get up.
What was like the hardest obstacle you'd think you did?
Probably that rock wall with
The rock wall?
or like that one where it was like a diagonal rock wall, and you had to like there was like those wooden 2x4s that were kind of cut that you had to grip onto.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was a little tricky
Okay.
with the footwork, but I
Do
mean,
you guys remember how on that one, everyone was going to the one side of that rock wall, of that wall,
yeah,
because it was tilted?
yeah.
I didn't feel like waiting, so I went on the side that was tilting like
towards you.
towards me,
Mm.
and I did it just fine.
Insane. Oh yeah, and then so we all get done with the obstacle, and this like structure, it's like in a zigzag type structure, and they have these wooden beams going across up top just to keep it supported. And this kid to our left decides, hey, I'm gonna cheat this obstacle and climb across the 2x4, snaps it right away, and half the obstacle just like leans over. I was like, oh my goodness.
I don't remember that at all.
You don't?
No.
Oh, must have been amped up with adrenaline then. Because
Maybe.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I think the hardest one, I think we're forgetting the barbed wire crawl that
I didn't,
was on all routes.
I'm a little bit
around.
lighter than you guys, so it was a little bit easier.
I mean, I got clipped in the back.
I know my elbows were feeling it. Yeah, you got scraped up.
I remember my dad was there and my sister was there, and I like gave my dad a high five. He was on the sideline when we were coming pretty much to the end almost.
Yeah.
And he looks at me, he goes, "Hey, you got blood on your back," and he's like yelling at me. I'm like, "What? What?"
So did you end up like putting like Neosporin? Like,
I mean,
you could have got infection running in mud.
yeah. I mean, when I was done with the race, we just put some Neosporin on it and wrapped it up. Wrapped it up. We just put a bandage on it.
Bandage.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how you're wrapping that back up whole, full.
Just a full torso wrap.
Yeah. If we were to do another one, what would we do differently?
I'd probably run a little bit more. I was feeling
Maybe remember our shoes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Brian.
Do I really want to go into that?
No, we don't have to.
Where I forgot my shoes on race day.
Yeah, you forgot his.
My dad dropped them off for me.
But thank goodness that happened, though, because when your dad brought you your shoes, you were going to run in those extra shoes that Brandon had.
Yeah.
But I ran in those extra shoes because my shoes that I had were not trail shoes at all.
Mm-mm.
And it would have been okay, but I'm so glad that I had those shoes from Brandon. I feel like that made the race a lot better for me.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I felt like we did really good.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't remember our time. Was it
2 hours and like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Solid.
Which the average time of
fun
completion was like
place.
3 hours, right? Something like
I think
that.
it was 2.5.
2.5. Okay.
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Hey, we beat the standard.
We could have gone sub 2 so
Oh,
easily.
we could have
dude.
gotten, yeah.
It's also, I mean, half the reason why it took so long is because a lot of that trail through the woods, it gets
People
real
walk.
skinny and it's muddy and people just walk. I mean, you have to walk it.
Yeah.
Because if you try to run, you're going to fall. You're going to lose a shoe in the mud. And you're just going to face plant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I would definitely run a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I was winded at the end. That fire jump, that was kind of a little cheesy, but kind of cool.
Maybe carry a little more gels.
Yeah. What do we have?
Just
One
to
gel?
replenish a little bit. But
Yeah.
definitely in future races for me, I will make sure that I have gels.
Yeah.
I'm glad Brandon was there because I really was about to carry that vest the entire race, and I'm
Yeah.
glad he told me not to.
Yeah.
Because there was the barbed wire crawl. It would have been hard, and then we had to cross that river. That was neck deep water.
Freezing cold.
It
It
was
was
really
so
cold.
cold.
I mean,
It was
Hey, whose
so
idea was to go with no shirt?
mine.
I agreed to it. I thought
Didn't
we
like you
totally
in that
should
moment.
I mean, a shirt's not going to do you much.
The shirt's
No.
gonna
in
be
that
worse. You get out of
Yeah,
the
sure,
water.
Yeah,
the
it's going to
shirt's
be all
still cold.
sucked to you, and shirtless was a play, dude.
Fair.
Plus, you would have ruined a shirt on the barbed wire.
100%. It would have ripped.
That
like,
thing
right
would have
through
been, that thing would have been in the trash, or
Yeah.
it would have been a gym shirt.
Were either of you guys there when Brandon was talking about the barbed wire crawl that he did for
Yeah.
the Beast?
Yeah, did you see the picture of it?
No.
Oh my goodness.
He said it was the longest barbed wire crawl that Spartan has ever done.
I can kind of explain it a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so our buddy Brandon that I was mentioning earlier, he ran a 21K beast in Cincinnati at a ski resort. And so he went into this race with a sprained knee, and I'm like, dude, you're insane. Mile 5, he's already feeling it. So it actually ended up taking him 10 hours to complete the 15 miles. But anyways, towards the end of the race, they had this huge ski hill, and for any of you skiers or snowboarders, in the mountain, there's moguls that they make for the skiers to go around in the winter and stuff. These little tiny mounds that you have to work through. And so Spartan, they made this course super muddy. They put mud all over the moguls and all that. And then they covered it in barbed wire too. So it's 700 feet up a hill through the moguls. And so what happened was Brandon only got halfway and his leg locked up on him. So he had to just spin out of it, and he had to run a couple extra miles for punishment. So insane. 700 feet uphill, barbed wire crawl.
Ours was probably 100 foot, if that.
Yeah, 100-foot flat
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all complaining about it.
Yeah.
I mean, right after that was when we started getting pissed because your guys' watches had said 6 miles. We're like, this is supposed to be a 10K. We're almost there.
Yeah.
And we kept on running and kept on running.
We ran for another good 40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I kept asking people, did you see me? I was like, are we on the right course?
Yeah.
I was like, is this the 10K course, or are we running the beast right now?
Yeah, because they had there's the sprint, which is a 5K, and then there's the
10K.
the super, which
The
is
super,
10K,
and then the
the
beast.
beast is a
21.
Yeah.
And the courses kind of overlap. They're not. You just kind of got to pay attention to the signage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we figured.
I mean, we were following the right signs. At miles like 6.5, I was like, are we on the right course? Like, we're way past 10K. And everyone that we talked to was like, yeah. So we just kept trekking.
I think at about mile 8, you were ready for it to be the beast. You were ready. You were like, yeah. I mean,
I finished the
so-
race and I was like, yeah, Brandon, I totally feel like I could do the beast. Let's do it. For sure.
That's crazy.
Do we feel like we learned anything from that race?
That's a good question. I feel like I learned that I'm capable of more than I give myself credit for.
Mm.
I mean, I learned that quite a bit from wrestling in high school, but I haven't been running as much, and I've just been lifting weights. So actually running again kind of reminded me that, once you slip into a groove, you can go for a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it was my first ever race, so I learned a lot about myself and what I can do, especially strength-wise. For those of you that do not know me, I was diagnosed with POTS, so before I was even diagnosed, I knew something was wrong with me, so I started running a lot to help me feel better, and I used to not even be able to run half a mile. It was really bad, so being able to have that type of endurance to run 8 miles and then do 25 obstacles, it was a really big achievement for me, and it meant a lot. So I just want to keep pushing myself and keep doing what I can do, see what I can do how far I can go.
Yeah. I was gonna say something similar. Pretty much mental fortitude, because there was at one point where I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, I think it was right after the barbed wire crawl, and I was just like, dude, I'm tired. Because then we ran for like 3 miles straight,
Yeah, yeah, it was a really long time,
and
and we finally got back to the main concourse.
yeah, and I was just like, I remember, because I had a lot of momentum in the beginning, a lot of momentum. Like, we were moving fast. We dusted Brandon. Gone.
I mean, we were probably running an 8.5 minute mile pace.
Yeah. And I was like, energy was high. We were moving, and then it was about almost like it hit like 5.5, I think, where we were at 5 minute or 5 miles. And I'm like, it's taken out of me. So it's like one of those things where pushing through the adversity, you're like, okay, I'm tired, but like, we still got to keep moving. So I think that was, and then kind of relating it back to what Paul said, kind of just when you set your mind to something, it's like, yeah, I haven't ran in a minute, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get good at this, to prepare for something that's challenging, because it's definitely a new challenge. I mean, I ran 10 miles with you.
Yeah.
Like, as a training
couple
run.
weeks before. Maybe
Couple
a
weeks
month
before, and
yeah.
I took the biggest nap of my life afterwards. But
Yeah.
Yeah, when you and I ran that 6 miles. Well, you lied to me. You lied to me.
I think I remember you telling me that.
What?
We ran, Ryan told me that it was going to be 2 3-mile loops in his neighborhood. And I was ready for it. I was like, all right. We started at 5 a.m. on a Saturday because Ryan had to work. I was like, all right, I'm there. We got this. And I don't have a watch or anything. I'm not tracking how far we're going. Ryan's got a watch. He was tracking it. And we've been going for a while, and like, I'm getting tired. And we stop for a second. We take some gels. I'm like, how far is the car? And he is 3.5 miles. I go, I thought you said it was a loop, like we were doing 2 3-mile loops. He's like, no, I lied. Oh my goodness. But I'm glad he lied, because I would have given up. We would have gotten, if it was 2 loops, we would have gotten back to my truck and I would have stopped and I would have went home. I would have been like, I'm tapping out. So it was really, I think mile 4 is when I got my second wind, or my runner's high, whatever you want to call it. And we were flying after that.
Yeah.
That was great, dude. I don't mind waking up early and running like that. That was nice. I think after that, I was busy for the rest of the Saturday too. So it was just a nice start to my Saturday.
Yeah. Getting the hard stuff out early.
I'm super glad I wasn't there for that 10-mile run you guys did.
Yeah, I did a half marathon on my own.
We're going to have to run that back.
Yeah, that was, for sure.
Because I'm probably starting training back up in July.
August.
In July.
Let's do it, towards the end of July.
Okay. So kind of just to move onward from this conversation, that was the Spartan recap. We did good. I know you're doing another one, Nate, here in a little bit. Two. Yeah. Sorry. Excuse me. Yeah. 2. I'm not. Paul is not.
I could be convinced to do 1 super a year.
Yeah.
I could be convinced to do that once a year. That wasn't so bad.
No, I might do the beast though.
That's crazy.
Because it's hard enough.
Count me out, dude.
It's hard enough to the point where you're not gonna damage your body, especially if you don't train a lot. But it's still a nice test, a nice physical test, and it feels rewarding.
Yeah, and it's something that you can definitely take at your own pace too. You don't got to be sprinting.
Yeah. I mean, there's people walking it with hiking.
Oh yeah.
So,
yep.
I mean,
but then you got the crazy people that are out there in those teeny tiny runner shorts, and they're wearing the heart rate monitors and everything. There's people that do these, and Brandon is one of them. Brandon just loves them.
Yeah.
I don't think Brandon more so goes for speed. He just loves doing them, and he loves completing them.
Yeah.
He's just got a genuine passion for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll be running those 2 in Michigan with Brandon.
Be sick.
And Vince, I think.
Yeah. All right, to segue this here. So the prompt I got for you guys is just, what do you think separates people who talk about goals and then people who actually go out and achieve them?
I think that when people, like when you and I talk about goals, I feel like there's a difference between you and I talking about it and then me going and talking to someone else about it. Because if I talk to someone I'm just working with or something like that, they're like, yeah, I want a house within the next 3 years. Okay. What are you doing about it?
Yeah, what's your plan?
I mean, I think that's kind of an obvious answer, but when I talk about my goals, I also talk about the plan that I have, because I have a goal to have a house within the next year and a half. And I am on track to do that. I have the steps for it. I'm forcing myself to save money, and that is hard for me. I do not do well with saving money. It literally comes out of my bank account every Friday after I get my paycheck, and I don't have a say in it. It comes out automatically, and it goes into an investments account, and it goes into a Roth IRA that I have set up. Every single week it does that. And I set that up for myself because I know that I couldn't on my own save up enough money for a house.
Yeah.
So things like that. And then when people also talk about gym goals, I think that the older that we get, like now we're, 21, 22, I think that when we were younger, or when you talk to a younger person in the gym, they're like, yo, how'd you get so big? I'm like, consistency, A, B, just eating like a lot. And they're like, oh, I do eat a lot. I'm like, do you? Because you're 140 pounds. You don't look like you eat a lot.
It's like the everyday actions. Like, do they actually show, like, if you go through your day, if you go through your calendar, if you go through your to-do list, like, what are your priorities? Like, are the priorities, your goals, or are they not? It's like super blatant. Like, I had a point in time where I went through my to-do list and was like, okay, well, how much of my time is being spent towards the goals I want to get completed within the next couple of years, or shoot, this year or next week? Like, daily goals I think are great. I think like little wins here and there, making your bed, like super easy things that you can have momentum to keep going off of. Like, making your bed takes 30 seconds. Like me, I throw my blankets over there, got 2 pillows, like, it don't matter. But simple things like that, making a healthy meal is really important. Like, literally just at home cooking, maybe meal prepping for that day is like huge. Another like, this is more personal to me, but like, leaving more time for my family, I think, is huge. That's why taking off the weekends is great for me now. But I've ran into this problem recently, and I've kind of strayed away from it right now. But it's called the arrival fallacy. I don't know if you guys have heard of that before. So basically, what the arrival fallacy is, it is the false, deeply ingrained belief that reaching a specific external goal will bring, like, lasting happiness or fulfillment. So that half marathon we're doing in August in 2020 or 2026, that's like my big, I'm not being able to train for it now because my knee's kind of bothering me.
Yeah.
It's like, if I can't do that, I'm not fulfilling my life.
Yeah.
If I don't have a goal to work towards, I'm not fulfilling anything.
And
that's like the big thing for me right now.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to like what we were talking about in that first segment of just kind of like finding peace in some boredom, finding the peace and just kind of sitting with yourself. So even though I'm not able to run right now, and I'm going to start training here in a little bit for it, it's just kind of sitting with myself and just being patient.
Yeah, I think another thing that separates people with goals is just looking around you and seeing people saying you're crazy. If people are saying that, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Set yourself apart from other people. Discipline yourself enough to get your goals done.
Yeah.
I mean, signing up for that half marathon was a huge thing for me because now I have something to work for, and I have that fire every day that I wake up. It's running is like, it just comes naturally now at this point. It's like it's part of me.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta keep doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What are some ways you guys prioritize?
Oh wait, sorry. I wanted to add on to that.
Yeah.
The boredom part. What were you saying? You're saying something about.
Oh, just living in the everyday things that are boring.
Yeah. So like, I run without headphones.
That's crazy.
I run with no music.
It's super nice.
Nothing. Because I like to be outside and be with God, be with nature, listen to the birds chirp. I also like to hear myself breathing, my breathing cadence and all that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it can get boring, but you have to find peace in it. You have to.
Yeah.
And so I do. I find peace in it every single time I run.
Yeah, when me and Ryan ran that 6 miles a couple months ago, no headphones. I've done a little bit of running without headphones before, and you're right. I mean, once you slip into that runner's high after your first couple miles, you're kind of just thinking about something else. You're not really there. I mean, your feet are hitting the ground, but you don't really feel them anymore. You're just kind of lost thinking about something else,
Mhm.
not running. You're thinking about and it's never like really simple things. You know what I mean? You're always thinking about something that's really, really important to you. It's never like, oh, what am I eating later? You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's deeper things.
It's like that. It's like that saying, like movement is medicine. You ever
Yeah.
heard that? So it's like one of those things where it's like, one, it helps you clear your mind, but if you're really struggling with something, it also helps you like think about it. Like I remember there was this quote from Einstein. He's like, "I did my best work while walking." He would actually like go outside and he would walk to
Mhm.
get his like ideas and theories, and just think them through. So I do like that you brought that up because I've been doing that too, on my runs. Well, in my past runs,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, to go back to that arrival fallacy thing, it's interesting to me how I've worked through like perfectionism and things like that, and I've kind of gotten over that. Like I'm accepting, like, oh, I got flaws. Everybody's got flaws. Can't be perfect, right? But now it's this new thing of like, here's what makes me happy is chasing a goal, this half marathon, this bodybuilding show next year, things like that. Um, reading 10 books this year, which I'm struggling with right now. I'm on book 4. Got to keep going with that. But it's just weird how I try to like keep building, which is good, but I think when you have an external motivation like that, it can be bad in some ways. It could consume you.
You could. You're right. So, what do you think? How do we balance that?
I think it's prioritizing the things that make you happy the most. So even if it is for me like having goals like that, what else makes me happy? Like asking yourself that question,
Yeah.
which would be my family, my friends, you guys, um, God, things like that. Um, that was actually going to be my next question to you guys: is how do you prioritize the things that are most important to you?
Well, right now, I mean, I try to get my training done at the beginning of the day. First thing I do, get it out of the way. Even though, as much as I enjoy it, as much as I want to sulk it in sometimes, I know there's bigger things in life than just training. And so I want to get that over with so I can focus on my work. I can focus on my family. And so as soon as I get home from the gym, I'm spending time with my mom. My dad gets home from lunch break. I'm spending time with my dad, my dogs, my sister, my brother. And then it's back to work.
Yeah.
Back to work. Go to work. Do your job. Come home. Be with the family again.
How do you how do you plan that? How do you schedule that? Is that
Yeah. So right now, I mean, it's really how my body's feeling, especially with POTS. I'll go through flares um every other week
could
or
you explain to people who don't know what POTS is what that actually entails?
yeah, so POTS. It's a autoimmune disease. It affects your nervous system. And so the main issue with people with POTS is blood pooling. And so when you're very sedentary for long periods of time, you're laying down, your heart rate drops a lot. And so when you lay back up, your heart rate will raise by 30 beats per minute or more, usually more. So when I lay down at night, my heart rate will go down to about 40, sometimes even in the 30s. Like it was 35 one time, and that's when I went to the ER and found out I had POTS. And when I wake up, it'll shoot up to 90, 110, 120. So I can get really dizzy, really fatigued. There's a lot of digestive issues that come with it. And there's just a whole laundry list of symptoms. So it's a lot, and it can be so much. It used to consume me. And so with POTS, not knowing when these flares are going to come and all that, I got to live my life on the fly. And so how I'm feeling that day judges what I'm gonna do. For example, today I actually woke up with a pretty bad flare, and I just decided to rest. Sometimes rest is the best medicine. Um, and so tomorrow I'll be back at it. But I personally have to just listen to my body
Mm.
and know what's good for my body.
Yeah.
Nate, I don't want to dive into this too much, but I remember when you first brought this to we were still like in the basement for this Bible study. We only had like 6 guys there,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember you bringing this to us, and you were pretty overwhelmed, pretty consumed by it. And how long has it been? Like
Since
9
I was
months?
diagnosed?
Yeah, like 9 months, 10 months.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
It was last September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've come a very long way, and I've known you for a little while now, and just seeing how it changed you and how you've changed yourself is incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know what? You and Ryan are probably some of the more resilient people I know. Ryan, you get called crazy more than anyone else I know, I think. You know what I mean? What were we saying earlier? If you get called crazy, you're doing it right. Ryan, I call you crazy more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Because you're up at like 4 in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even up that early.
Hey, man,
dude.
got to go to work.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, and that's awesome. I'm not dogging on you, but I like my sleep too much, man. I'm not up that early.
Not to glaze here too much, but I actually have a verse here that says, "Bad company corrupts good morals."
What verse is that?
1 Corinthians 15:33. So when you're talking about us as like a collective group, I think for anybody listening to this right now, it's just to reiterate it. It's like bad company corrupts good morals. Spend time with people that are going to make you better rather than tear you down. Plain and simple. Like the reason I have these 2 guys on here right now, Nate and Paul, they've made me better, and that's why they're here. And Paul, stop smiling at me like that. Like I said, I'm not trying to glaze, but anybody who I bring on this podcast is inspiring to me, and I bring them on because it's all out of love, and I know that they have something to offer this podcast. So for anybody listening, don't spend your time with people who make you worse. If you find yourself in bad habits, bad situations, it's okay to just break off a little bit.
Like my mom always said when I was a wee little thing, you are who you hang out with.
Wee little thing. Is that what she said?
Ever since I was a wee little thing. That's just what I say, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, you are who you hang out with. Choose the right group correctly. Yeah. And it shows.
Yeah. To go back to that balance piece, we touched on how you handle it. Paul, how do you handle balance in your life?
I think that it just kind of comes with my work schedule. Yeah. I kind of do what I can. Like today I worked 7 to 6:15, 6:30. And if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably still go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like waking up super early. I wake up when I have to. Like I had to leave my house at like 6 o'clock this morning. I was awake at 5:45. Yeah. I like my sleep. So I'll sleep long as I can. I'll get up, go to work. And it's really important. Even in the past month, I've been getting more responsibilities at work. So I've been working really hard at spending more time perfecting my craft, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to sit and be too stagnant with what I'm doing when I'm not able to, because we're getting busier and busier at work. The summertime's our busy season. So we're getting more and more jobs, and I'm getting new stuff thrown at me every single day. So if I'm not constantly researching or learning or asking questions, I'm going to fall behind, and I will get yelled at, or I will, run into problems down the road. And I've seen this happen to me before because I've just gotten stagnant. But I'm working real hard at just staying on top of all the information that's given to me. Like this week, I'm working on it's a snow melt project. These people ripped up their driveway, and they're putting down all these water lines in the driveway to melt the snow in the wintertime. And it's a really cool concept. It's a really expensive project, but I've never done anything like it before. Yeah. So having it thrown at me is kind of trial by fire, honestly. And the deadlines that I'm hit with are, kind of extreme sometimes. So it's always been kind of a struggle for me to say, all right, no, we're going to work late today. We're going to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been working hard at that for maybe like the last month. I've been working a little bit later, just staying, getting the projects done, making sure that my work is complete, or as complete as it can be, because it's going to come back on me. My name's the name on the job. If it's a smaller job, it's got my name on it.
Yeah.
Paul did this. So I'm the one that gets the phone calls if there's anything wrong with it. Even if it's like today, I had 3 apprentices out there with me, for lack of better words, and they're good guys. They're not absolute idiots, but sometimes they just don't know what they're doing. So I got to supervise, because if they do something wrong and I miss it, it comes back on me.
Mm-hmm.
So watching them and teaching them while I'm still working and running the job is sometimes tricky, because sometimes I have to slow way down and make sure they're doing the right thing, but that's okay, because it's getting done right.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful to have management that understands that. Like they understand that if you want to hire young guys and grow the company and have a bunch of young guys, not everyone's going to know how to do everything right off the bat. So I'm grateful for that. They understand that. But as far as the gym goes, I'm not going to lie one bit. I've been slacking a little bit. Kind of just like a lack of motivation to go work out. But I did start meal prepping again about a week and a half ago. So just beef and rice.
Yeah.
Just beef and rice, back to it. I don't even know how much I weigh right now, honestly.
Still look good?
Nah.
What do you mean nah?
But yeah, I think that I just got to work on finding my spark for the gym again, because it's kind of faded. Got to find a reason to be in there.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of tricky during the summertime because we're so busy at work. When I get off at 6 o'clock, I just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, for me, it goes, I go to work so that I can enjoy the gym. The gym for me is a sanctuary. It's just a calm place for me. I can walk around with my hood up, my hat on, pulled low, and my headphones on, and no one talks to me for the most part. I'll go out of my way. I'll talk to the people that I want to talk to, but no one's really coming up to me anymore, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
So I've been enjoying the gym. I've been trying to enjoy the gym like I used to. Just going in there on my own, doing my own thing. But
so you like to use the gym as like your own time?
Oh yeah, because I can't get pissed off at work. You know what I mean? I can't be throwing things and yelling, because I got people watching me, and I got a job to lead. So if I'm throwing things and not looking for a solution, what does that solve?
Right.
Like if I need this done today, I need to come up with a solution for this problem right now.
Yeah.
So I gotta.
And then letting all those emotions go at the gym afterwards.
Yeah. I'm not a very angry person, but I think sometimes this work challenges me quite a bit.
Yeah. So we all just talked about work, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do we think balance is achievable for guys that are our age?
Yes.
Balance between what? Between
everything.
work,
family,
social life, God. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
As long as you have the right priorities. Yes. 1000%. For me, I mean, get it done at the beginning of the day. I work a part-time job, so it's easy for me to work or lift in the morning. I only work in the afternoons from 2 to 6. So get my hard workout in the morning. Enjoy time with the family before work. Work, enjoy time with the family again.
Yeah.
Or I love hiking, so sometimes I have that extra free time after work to go hike.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to do stuff, you can still do it, but you have to get in the gym. You have to perfect your craft. You have to do all that while enjoying the rest of it.
What would you say if someone's like a workaholic?
I think that
how would they?
If you're in general, I'm going to back up. I'm going to give you a bird's eye view and then zoom in on what you're talking about. I think in general, what you need to be able to do is go about your life. And you've said this so many times, and it's just stuck with me, Ryan. It's not God first, it's God at the center of everything that you do. So if you're working a lot, that's fine. You just got to make sure you're working for the right reasons. There's no, I mean, obviously there's self-ambition. You're not really going to get up out of bed if you're not making money for yourself. But when you're waking up, you got to think about it. Like I like to think about it like I get to go to work today or something like that.
Mhm.
It's oops. It's I think it's challenging for a lot of people to think that way because they're just thinking of ways that they can get ahead. And I'm a victim of this too. I think most people are. But if you're truly working towards having God at the center of your life, it will help balance everything else that you do. Because if you're putting God at the center, then you are essentially, pouring God into everything that you do. You're pouring God into your work, and then you're going to want to pour God into your social life and your family and your friends. And, even if it's at the gym or whatever it might be, you're working out because you're able to, because God gave you the ability to. God gave you all the gifts that you have.
Yep.
So I think that once you're able to kind of put God at the center of everything instead of first, it kind of just changes your view on how much you should be working or even how little you should be working, because if you're not working enough and you got a family to provide, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're not going about it the right way.
Right.
If you have free time and your family's struggling and you're not working and you're able,
What are you
there's a
doing?
problem.
Right.
You're supposed to be able to provide for your family. And if you're able to provide and you're just not, I think that's where the problem starts.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'll go and ask one more question for both of you because we're running out of time here shortly.
Yeah, we're getting this safe.
Hey man, podcasts are fun. We
time
just start
flies when you're
yapping.
having
We just
fun.
start yapping. Yeah. So we'll go one by one. What is like the biggest turning point in your life? What's something that you went through that made you better?
Yeah.
And then maybe add a piece of advice to it if you want at the end of how you handled that situation.
Yeah. So I can kind of go through my testimony. I've told you two a lot. I used to be really depressed. Freshman year of college, my girlfriend broke up with me, and I went through a dark hole. I got home from work and drank every day, and never really thought twice about it. I started struggling in school a lot. Um, I'm a finance major at Kent State, so I was taking an intuitive calc class, and I was getting ready to drop out of school. Going to tutoring for intuitive calc one night, and I remember 2 days prior praying to God to give me a sign that I shouldn't quit. I shouldn't quit college. So anyways, I go to the tutoring, and when I'm getting done, I see a sticky note that says, "Someone somewhere out there loves you." And it was just super weird to me, and I was like, why is that sticky note there?
Where was the sticky note?
It was just on the stairwell, and so there's a little escalator in the library.
Yeah.
And so there's like a brick wall to the right of the stairwell, and the sticky note was just sitting there. As I was going down, I kind of saw it and read it. I was like, dang, that's interesting. I wonder why someone put that there. And so I kind of walk out to my truck after, and I see there's a sticky note on my truck, and there's probably 500 cars in that parking lot. And for some reason, there's a sticky note on my truck, and it says, "You are exactly where you are supposed to be." And I broke down in tears, called my mom right away. And ever since that point, I knew God was on my side, and I knew He was right there with me every step of the way. Completely changed me as a human being. Stopped drinking every day. I still drink every now and again, but yeah, I stopped drinking every day. I started taking school more seriously, and luckily, our friend Paul over here invited me to a Bible study, and I was really hesitant at first. I remember making up excuses in my mind as to why I couldn't go, but I showed up. That's the first step. Show up. I showed up, and I just felt so much love from the group of guys, and it was awesome. And so we grew that fellowship, and I grew that relationship with God again. And I got baptized last spring, gave my life to Christ, and here we are now. So that turning point in the library.
Yeah.
That was the turning point.
I remember
for
the
me.
first time you told me that story. I was like, holy crap.
I think I've heard that story.
Almost, it brings me to tears almost every
Oh,
single
yeah.
time.
I think I've heard that out of you 4, maybe 5 times now. I get chills every single
Always
time.
hits the same.
Yeah, and I still have that sticky note in my bedroom, by the way. I hung it right along the door frame, and I like to smack it every time I leave the room. So just a little
That's
extra
great.
motivation.
Yeah. All right, Paul.
Well, I could go a couple different directions with this one. I think one of the I'm gonna go 2 different avenues. I think I'll keep it kind of a little shorter for both of them, so I'm doing 2. But maybe 3, maybe 4 years ago now. I'm not too sure. But there was this girl at my gym, and I knew that she was pretty religious, and I respected that. And I had my faith, but I wasn't, as dedicated to it as she was. And I would talk to her at the gym every now and then. And one day I was talking about it to one of my friends. I was like, yo, what do you think would happen if I asked her out? And he was like, just go for it, man. Like, I mean, walking into this that it might not work out just because of your differences and your opinion on how your faith should look. And I said, yeah, you're right. Like, it's worth a conversation. It's worth a couple dates. So I go, I ask for her phone number. I ask her out, and we go out on a couple of dates. It's a wonderful time. She's such a sweet girl. And, to me, obviously, she's very, very much further along. She was a little bit older. I think I was 19 at the time. She might have been, I was either 18 or 19. She was 22, 23, 24, something like that. But we go out a couple times, and we have a couple conversations about God. And I mean, I grew up in the church. I knew God. I knew who he was. And I thought I had some kind of relationship with him, but the further along her and I got, I just kind of realized more and more to myself that, like, excuse me, that I was pulling her in the wrong direction. I was leading her down some sort of path that she didn't really need to be on. I told her that. I was like, look, like, you're a really sweet girl, and you're probably pretty good for me, but I'm not good for you, at least not right now. And I told her that, and we broke things off. We stopped talking. I mean, we'd only been hanging out for like maybe a month, maybe 2 months, something like that. And this kind of all happened like the week before I went on a vacation with my family, my whole dad's side, and they're all, Southern Baptists. They're from Texas. And my uncle's been kind of my go-to guy for years. But so I'm telling my uncle about this, and he's like, well, why'd you do that? And I'm like, what do you mean? I was pulling her in the wrong direction. I'm not the guy she needed. He was like, well, why didn't you just become the guy she needed? Why didn't you work on that yourself? I was like, oh, that's kind of obvious. I can't believe I didn't think about that. And he goes, he looks at me. He's like, can you recall when you actually gave your life to Christ? I was like, yeah, I mean, I was baptized when I was like 14. He's like, no, that's not what I mean. He's like, did you actually hand over your life? And I was like, oh, now that you think about it, I guess I was maybe too young to understand, maybe didn't understand the world enough to really do that. So I sat down, him and I said a prayer with my mom, and that kind of just changed my perspective on Christianity. Him and I had a lot of conversations after this, and just kind of myself too. Like, if I'm not enough for somebody, then I need to work on, if I know I'm not enough for someone, I need to work on being more.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me. I think about that quite often, actually. So that, and then last summer I went through a pretty rough breakup, and I think I took it so hard because I thought that we were, maybe a little bit more on the same page than we really were. And it just, I mean, I saw signs coming, but I think when it ended, it just kind of hit me really, really hard. I just didn't want it to end. And then, a couple months go by, and I kind of realized, I'm like, you know, she was right in everything that she had to say and had to do. So I respect that. I'm going to back off. I'm going to give myself the space that I need along with the space that she needs. And that's the first time that I realized that I needed a different perspective on things. Sometimes I needed to take space. Sometimes action wasn't the right thing to do, which is something that I struggle with because I'm a problem solver. I like just fixing the problem.
Yeah.
If I can't fix a problem, like, what do I do?
Yeah.
You know, so sitting back and just kind of letting the time pass, it made everything so much clearer in my head. You know what I mean? So sitting back, just letting everything pass, I think kind of changed my whole mindset on time is going to pass no matter what. So it's more about how you handle it and how you handle yourself as the time passes. Like what Gandalf said from my quote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
it's two kind of different directions. One spiritual, one more just a kind of emotional growth.
That's a good tie back to your first thing you said.
What's you, Ryan?
About me?
Yeah.
Oh, we've heard it on the podcast before.
Well, I haven't heard it.
You haven't heard? It was just one of those times in life where I had no time for anybody but myself. And I would honestly argue I didn't really have time for myself. I feel like I was drowning in my own ambition. If that makes sense.
It makes sense.
There's this quote from Joji.
Joji.
Yeah, bro. Hold on.
Ooh.
In this song, it says, "Lost in the waves, I'm underwater." I know it sounds stupid.
No, I like that.
But I basically felt like I had been underwater. I felt like I had been in the deep end, and I could not get up and like get a breath of air for 6 months straight. I was at that
Just
point.
couldn't find that balance.
I didn't have a lick of balance. And everybody who I knew at that time and I was seeing on maybe like a weekly basis, like I was still working a job that I kind of didn't enjoy. I was still like a discount tire. I was still working in on cars. I was being a mechanic.
Had yellow hands.
Yeah, you're a funny guy, huh? But yeah, I was working that job. I had an internship with UH. UH is a hospital here in Cleveland. And I had no time for anybody, not even myself. And the times that I would sit with myself, I would be thinking about anything other than just sitting in the moment. I didn't talk to anybody. I had a terrible relationship with my father, my mother. We got into plenty of fights. A lot of them had no ending, unfortunately. And it was just a really rough spot mentally to be in for a longer period of time. That's half a year. But it's kind of more of a faith story. But what kind of got me into it is I hadn't opened my Bible probably ever. I had always been not like involved, like I've been involved in the Catholic Church before. I didn't like going. You know, we were raised Catholic. I went to PSR every week for a couple months, like things like that. I did the confirmation. I did all the steps, right? But I never opened the Bible. Never learned anything really. I knew Adam and Eve. That's about it.
Yeah, honestly, I was right there with you, dude.
And I just kind of I was lost. Didn't really know what to do. Like I had the direction. It's like, this is the bodybuilding show. We go back to that the arrival fallacy. That was it. That was like the peak of what I was going for, and nothing else mattered at that point. My relationships didn't matter. My
So you felt like you were living the definition of arrival fallacy.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it was to get you on the phone? Damn near impossible.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, I barely talked to my dad.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing you.
I know, but
no, I could, like, when I just first met you, I could tell you wanted to, though. I could tell you wanted that relationship. You just didn't have the time because you would talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
So
it got really bad around Like I would say 3 months left. There was 3 months left. I had lost 20 pounds already. So, like you getting on this crazy diet and everything, you just kind of, you're eating the same 5 things every day. You're getting grumpy really easily. You're very tired all the time. I mean, Paul, you've done one. You know how that is,
Yeah.
eating green beans and everything every day. But it sucks, man. It sucks to be yourself, and you honestly lose yourself at that period, like at that point in your time. If you ever do a bodybuilding show, if anybody listening to this has done one or is planning to do one, just approach with caution, honestly. But to kind of wrap this up, I opened my Bible for the first time in honestly ever, um, and I had just started reading it, learning about God, and like every time in the morning when right before I go to work, I'd read a passage and just go, huh, I'd learn a little bit more. But I remember it got so difficult to the point where I would end the day and I would lay in my bed at the end of the day and go, there's no way I have to do that whole thing again the next day. I don't want to. Like it got to the point where I didn't want to get out of bed. I was depressed. I lost myself. And it was probably the most lonely I've ever felt in my entire life. Um, and it was because I partly did that. I pushed myself. Like obviously bodybuilding, like a bodybuilding prep is like, it's self-inflicted, right? So like you're complaining about something you're doing to yourself when you could stop at any time. But I wanted that goal so bad I was willing to do anything to get it. So, and that kind of forced me down a dark hole. But around a month out, like 4 weeks, I got up every day. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. And I get up every morning and go, God, just help me get one more day. I would just say a simple prayer. And I tell this to everybody who kind of asks about, my journey of coming to know Jesus, coming to know God. He did that. That wasn't me. Those last 4 weeks, like Paul, you came to my show, like that wasn't me. That was God. I tell it every time. I would not have been up there if it wasn't for him. And it was crazy because the job I was interning for, I was trying to get that job too at the same time. And right after my bodybuilding show, I didn't get it. Now here we are. I have that job.
Heck yeah.
Months later, so they got a call back. So things work in mysterious ways.
Just gotta trust God's timing.
You just gotta trust God's timing. That's kind of my faith story. But I guess some advice I would give. I don't know if you guys gave advice for
No,
for
I
yours.
totally
We'll kind of
to.
go down this road, but
Yeah.
I guess some advice I would give maybe to myself back then. It's tough because I know how that feels.
Yeah, me too.
I would say open your mouth.
Talk to
As
someone.
hard and as tired, as fatiguing it is to talk to somebody when you feel that alone, the more important it is to say, hey, I'm struggling with something. Do you have a second? Can I just like say a couple sentences?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I
So that would be my advice to me, or even anybody just going through something right now. Like it's okay to open your mouth.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna judge you. You know what I mean?
For sure. And for anyone listening, I mean, you've heard 3 different stories of 3 different guys going through a very tough time. And so just to know that this happens to everyone, and it's just a part of life. Hardships are a part of life. Life is not perfect. So embracing that, like I said at the very beginning, life is full of false summits. All right. Embrace that and just climb. All right. If you're overwhelmed with anxiety, like I was, and depression, take it one day. Take it one day at a time. Okay. Take a deep breath, pray to God, have a conversation with him, tell him what's on your mind. All right. Have a conversation.
Yeah. No, that's kind of the whole reason that I started the Bible study, that me and Lucian started it, was because we never realized how many guys around us were in like the exact same spot. either in their faith or in their in that stage of life. You know what I mean? So starting that study was really interesting to see how many people like actually came out of the woodworks and still come every single week. So that's cool. It's really cool to see. And it's something I never would have imagined myself doing. But here we are. So
I think
cool.
to wrap this up perfectly, kind of like in a little bow, I have another verse here I'd just like to share. It's a little longer one, but I think it kind of encapsulates what we just talked about. All three guys, very similar stories, but also very different. But it's from Philippians, excuse me, 3:13 through 14. So it says, "Forgetting what lies behind and reaching forward to what lies ahead, I press on towards the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Jesus Christ." So essentially saying our past doesn't define us. It doesn't define anybody. Everybody's got a past. Everybody's got mistakes that they've made. But pretty much all that's really matters is what lies ahead in our life with Christ and then beyond.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, boys. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Paul,
Thank
for just
you for
coming
having
on.
us, man.
This has been Inside the Show. I'll see you guys next 2 weeks here. Peace.